Now, I want to do this in a comedic vein, so here's the way it is. About 30 years ago, I was walking along, and I heard this voice. And the voice said, excuse me, and I said, yes, and it was the Lord's voice. And the Lord said, I've got a mission for you. And I said, I was about to come out of the service, and I wanted to do something, maybe a doctor or a lawyer or something. And the voice said, yeah, I think you ought to spend the rest of your life as a crazy person. And I said, wait a minute. I was really planning to be a doctor or a lawyer or make a real contribution here. Can we talk about this being a crazy person for the rest of my life? And they said, no, you're just going to be a crazy person. So I said, oh, please, Lord, I don't want to be crazy. I won't do this. So I was locked up.
If you had a voice talking to you and you thought it was God, and you really believed it, see, because if you don't really believe it, then it's different. Once you really start believing it and you start acting on it, as you would if you did believe it, that's when you start doing things that other people find problematic very often.
I did turn into an atomic bomb once in a Catholic mass ceremony. I guarded those bombs, and I developed a Manchurian candidate delusion that people were put under hypnotic control and they were threatening the bomb.
Nobody wants to really think that they could actually have difficulty organizing their own thoughts, that they couldn't trust their own perceptions of things.
Even your feelings don't really belong to you, and it's like you're being violated as a person.
What part of your illness causes you the most trouble?
It's an illness of the brain. It's a physical illness. An organ of the body is ill, just as your lungs and your stomach might be ill, and people need to realize that you can get treatment for it.
Schizophrenia is an illness that, as of yet, does not have a cure. It's a chronic illness that tends to exist throughout one's life.
It's a chemical imbalance that a person is born with from the beginning, and it's just a time period of when this is going to kick in.
It's one of the perplexing things about schizophrenia, that it hits people at this strange age, the teenage years or young adult life.
Some people have called it Alzheimer's in the young.
A lot of people think that it's a split personality, and this is actually an incorrect way of viewing it.
Schizophrenia affects about 1% of the population, and it does so in rural villages in Indonesia, and it does so in New York City.
Steve, did you took that medication away from him, the one that he has in the pocket?
Yeah, they were out-of-date birth control pills. I just tossed them.
Okay, if you take that, you can get very sick, man. Where do you find those birth control pills? Where do you find them?
In the bus.
The bus?
In the bus?
Yeah.
Schizophrenia is not a character flaw, is not a response to a poor upbringing.
And it's not the person's fault. Nothing that the person with the illness has done has caused it, and nothing that the family has done has caused it.
Shaking from side effects from mental illness.
Schizophrenia is where different parts of your brain are randomly affected. There's little imperfections in the tissue, and as a result, what you're doing with various parts of the brain get confused.
It's not like other illnesses. It changes how you think. I mean, what greater curse at some level can you come up with than that you're going to be thinking differently and unable to know when you're thinking differently?
The voices say, well, yes, you're going to die today, or you're going to die real soon, and they've been saying that for 15 years. And I've been their dope for 15 years.
They get voices. They have delusions of things occurring that other people don't have. They have hallucinations.
You just hear this voice and it's like, what in the hell is that?
See the walls cave in when I was around 8 years old, thinking the devil was after me.
I saw images of Jesus. I saw images of Satan.
They're more apathetic, they're more isolated, they don't have the emotional richness or responsiveness.
A lot of people say if you don't smile, you ain't happy, but schizophrenic, that's not really what's happening.
If you look at the finest artists and the finest composers, 30, 40, even 50% of those folks diagnosable with serious mental illness, primarily manic depressive, but also schizophrenic to some degree.
People who get this illness don't lose who they were. It is the same person struggling either with something that they sense is slipping away, or it's the person struggling with these outside forces that are invading them, and they grapple with this on a daily basis.
A significant portion of the homeless population in the city is made up of people with schizophrenia. And there's a team run by Project Reach Out that goes out and talks to people in the parks and lets them know what their options are and lets them know what's available to them in terms of assistance.
We give you sandwiches before? Yeah, 1 or 2 ice, right? I'm sorry to wake you up. My name is Margarita and this is David. Okay? I just wanted to know if you remember that inside of the back is a piece of paper with our address. You can come in if you need help.
They run a drop-in center where people can come by as they choose and come in and get help with medical care, with psychiatric care. They're also taught what's available for them in terms of housing.
I don't know when you will come in December or in the summer.
New York City over a 10-year period lost 100,000 units of affordable low-income housing. Shelters are scary places. And when people are coping with a thought disorder too, particularly if people are coping with schizophrenia, being in a crowded shelter situation where people share facilities, it's got to be the scariest thing in the world.
What do you want with me now? I ain't done nothing, you done something.
I ain't done nothing. I'm out here trying to get you housed and
You ain't give me no goddamn house.
I know, I've been trying for years.
And you never let us. You never let us help you in any way.
Yeah, I'm living fine, nobody bothers me.
Where you live?
Never mind about where I live.
He's been, and we've been documenting this, on the street at least since 1980. He was evicted illegally from a building when Mayor Koch was in office. And the single-room occupancy units all over the west side were being gentrified and people were being pushed out and thrown on the street. One of the first person who went out was D.C. Washington. He was mentally ill. He was discharged from a mental institution some years before. No supportive services in place. He's schizophrenic. He will benefit from medication and services, but it's been impossible to help him because he don't trust us.
We don't want it, Dissy. We don't want your money.
I don't want your money.
I ain't want to be around you. I don't want to be around you.
Deinstitutionalization was the movement of people with serious mental illness from large institutions, mostly state hospitals, back into society. And it's been praised and it's been pummeled, and both are well justified. Praised because many people, as we can see, are able to live quite well in society.
You ain't giving the right address here.
The difficulties with deinstitutionalization were that the institution provided total care. It provided clothing, a social world, activities during the day, food, a sense of belonging to a community. And when people were discharged en masse from these places, we forgot to teach them how to live independently when we opened the doors of the asylum and said, now you're free, you can go out and live in society.
When you lost your toes, how that happened? Doing what?
I'm an engineer, yellow equipment.
That was an accident?
My feet got cold, I caught gangrene.
They got cold and then you got gangrene. Mr. Smith is the typical story of homeless, mentally ill people, schizophrenics, who the system fell to them.
You going back to Virginia?
Yeah, off and on. Yeah.
Because when I met this man, his full body was complete. And now what you have is a man with half of his food in each one of them, because he lost them to frostbite here in Central Park. But for 10 years I've been seeing this man twice a day, 5 days a week, offering him a sandwich, trying to come closer and closer, in order to sustain a conversation that would allow him to get to understand that I want to help him. And when did you purchase this home in Virginia?
This month.
This month? That's nice. The conversation is always about the same thing. He has a home. He don't need no services from us. Do you think that you deserve better than to be sitting in this bench in this situation?
No.
No? I tell you that represent a failure of the system because I know that Mr. Smith has been hospitalized at least 5 different times. Now, in 5 different occasions, you're going to tell me that the system was not capable of placing this man in a place that will provide the support services that he needs in order to be able to live a normal life like anybody else. Now, no one can tell me that that's not possible. It's humane, for God's sake. And as I said to you before, we can help you to find permanent housing. Human kindness, human understanding, empathy. That man doesn't get that. We are his friends, and it's sad to say this, but we are his universe. Okay, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry that I bothered you so much today. Okay? Bye-bye. See you later.
Take care, my man. All right.
Who want to be with this illness that is so cruel to you, that take away not just your health, but it take away your freedom, your hope, your dreams, your dignity. You know, it take away everything. And then, on top of that, you get blamed for it. You get ostracized for it. You get abused for it. You know, the system really doesn't get it. My name is Margarita. What's your name?
Miguel.
Miguel? Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Okay.
Then, we are located on 88th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Do you know how to get there?
Yeah.
Where you are right now?
Over here.
But where? What street is this one? Hello. What street is this one that you are?
Over here.
It's usual for us to find people like Miguel in Central Park in the condition he was. Psychotic, incapable of telling us where he lives, what his name is. A person that you cannot understand what he's trying to tell you. And find somebody in the conditions that we found him. Smelly, with dirty clothing, hungry. All that is normal. They give you eviction or you...
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. This perception. And then what happens? That schizophrenics and mentally ill people are dangerous individuals who will struck you at any time. It's been the perception that for many, many years people have. How long you been here in Central Park?
5 years.
5 years you've been here.
So that's it. Remember, you say there is a like that.
I've been in Project Reach Out for 10 years. To this day, I've never been struck by anybody. And I deal with people who are extremely psychotic, completely out of control, and I never been hit or hurt by anyone. Would you like to come to the office to Project Reach Out?
Yeah.
We will take you, bring you into the office. It will be people there who will help you to take a shower, change clothing, and be more comfortable.
Yeah, I go with you now.
You come with me?
Yeah, to say what is wrong.
Okay, to fix it.
Yeah, to fix it.
When was the last time you slept indoors?
Nowhere.
Nowhere?
Nowhere.
How about like during the winter?
Don't know.
Don't know?
Yeah.
More often than not, the person will not be willing to come with us and trust us so quickly. Okay, Miguel, come with me. To come in the van without knowing where he was going, that is unusual. Come, follow me here. Okay, this is Project Reach Out. The office I told you is going to help you. We will help you here. And when you come back the next time, remember that the ring bell, the bell is here, okay? For you to ring the bell in case that the door is closed. Remember that, okay?
Yeah.
Just come with me. Even with the limitation that Miguel had to communicate to us who he was, where he lived, from where he come, what happened to him, we were able to find one tiny clue But that was very clever of your parents to put in the bracelet.
And that's what I had to care about.
Yes. Okay. Then we're going in here again, okay?